So for this project, you will need any type of yarn that you have. I'm using this 100% acrylic yarn that's a size 2, but I'm going to be using 2 strands at the same time, like this, which makes it weight 4. But of course, you can use any type of yarn that you have. With this, I'm using a size 4 hook. You will also need a pair of scissors and a yarn needle. And this is optional, but you can also use 1 stitch marker. So in my last video, I showed you how to make this block stitch granny square. And in this video, I'll show you how to go from this to this granny square with a rounded edge on one side, so we can make a scoodie out of it, which is a hooded scarf. So if you don't know how to make this one, it will be in my last video. So from here, we're going to start row 8 together, and you can always count back your rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows, and we're going to make row 8 together. But first, you want to pick which corner you want to be your back of the head, which will create this round edge. So you can pick any corner and grab your stitch marker so you remember. So for example, we can just go with this corner, and I'm just going to attach it just so we know that we're rounding up this corner. So now pick any other corner, let's say this one, and we're going to attach our yarn just like before. So insert your hook into the space, grab your yarn and pull through. With the short yarn, I'm going to put it over the long yarn, and I'm going to chain 3 like usual. So 1, 2, 3. So from here, again, we will do 1 single crochet into that same space. So from here, we're going to repeat the same pattern like we did in the last video. And once we get here, I will show you how to round up the corner. So for now, we're just going to continue with 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. We get to the next space right here. Insert and single crochet. Again, chain 3, 2, 3. That brings us into our next space. So insert into the next space, single crochet, and continue. So now we've reached a regular corner just before a round one. So we're going to make 1 single crochet, and we're going to chain 2 to create a corner. And again, in the same space, 1 single crochet. So this is a regular corner for this row. And we're going to continue the same pattern until we reach back here. So now we can take out the stitch marker because we know we're going to be using this corner. So again, like normal, we chain 3 to get to the next space. And in here, we're just going to act like this is another side and it's not a corner. So insert and single crochet. So again, we're not going to add 2 chains to make it a corner, and we're not going to add an extra single crochet. So from here, we're just going to move on to our next space. So again, chain 3. And we get to our next space. So we're basically treating this corner as if it was a regular side, and that's the only difference. And now you just continue this regular stitch until you come back all the way here, and I can show you how to finish off the row. And to finish off the row, we're going to chain 3, and we're going to find our corner right here. that space. We're gonna go into the space, not the stitches, but the actual space. Grab the yarn, pull through, and pull through all the way, making a slip stitch. From here, we're going to chain 1, and we can cut off the yarn and just pull through. So now we're done with this row, and you can see this is a rounded edge. I will put a stitch marker back into this side just so you can see where I'm working from. So this is our rounded edge and everything else is normal. So now we can move on to our next color, which for me is a dark blue. So to start the next row, you can pick any corner. I'm going to go with this one right here. And for reference, this is a rounded corner. So you want to insert your hook into the space, grab your next color and pull it through. I'm going to make sure the little tail is on top of my long working yarn. So I work around it. And we're going to chain 3. And these 3 chains count as our first double crochet like usual. So yarn over, and we're going to make 2 more double crochets into the same space. So insert, pull up the loop. That's our second double crochet. And third. So we continue a regular pattern here, where we do 3 double crochets into each of these spaces until we get to this rounded edge. So now we're at our rounded corner again. You can take out your stitch marker because we know this is the corner. So usually here you would have the little space that's created by 2 single crochets, but we don't have that anymore. So we're going to act like this corner is just another side. So we're going to yarn over and start 3 double crochets into the next space. So we're not doing anything for the corner. So yarn over, go into the next space, complete 3 double crochets. So that's 1, this is 2, and 3, and again we're just going to continue into our next space. And you can start to see how it rounds up instead of having a corner like this. So just continue the regular pattern. So now we reached a regular corner. So don't forget we do a regular stitch here where we do 3 double crochets into the corner space. It's 2 and 3. We chain 2 to create a corner, and again we create 3 double crochets into the same space. So you can see how we just create a regular corner and our rounded edge looks like this. So that's what the difference is. So don't forget that every single corner except a rounded edge gets a regular pattern of 3 double crochets, 2 chains, and 3 double crochets. So now you can just continue our regular pattern and I can meet you over here. So to finish off row 9, we're going to complete it like usual. So we need 3 more double crochets into the corner stitch right here. So insert a loop, that's 1, that's 2 and 3, and now we need 2 chains for the corner. So 1, 2, and we're going to complete it by inserting our hook into the third chain. So 1, 2, 3, insert, turn over and pull through all the way, creating a slip stitch. And from here we're going to chain 1 to finish off and cut off our yarn and just pull through. So that's your row 9. So it should start to look something like this, where the corners look like this and one side has been rounded off. So now to start row 10, we're going to do the same thing as we did with row 8. You can start with any corner. I will start right here. This is where a rounded one is. So insert our hook into the corner space, attach your yarn and pull. And we will chain 3 like before, 1 single crochet into the space, and we're going to do the same thing. So chain 3 and single crochet into each of these spaces. So for now, just continue the same pattern until we reach our rounded edge. So for our rounded corner right here, again, we're just going to pretend like it's not a corner and it's a side, and it will only get 1 single crochet, like so, and we move on. So chain 3, and we move on to the next space. So this is what it should look like, and we just continue doing regular corner stitches here with 1 single crochet, 2 chains, 1 single crochet, and finish off the round like before. So to finish off, we insert our hook into the corner space and just slip stitch, chain 1, cut off the yarn, and just pull through. I'm going to pick this corner to start my next color. Attach the yarn. Chain 3. 2 more double crochets. And complete 3 double crochets in each of these spaces. And I'll show you the corner space again. So again, with a rounded corner, we're just going to act like it's just another side. So we just move on to the next space without any chains. So just make 3 double crochets in each of the spaces. So again, all the other corners, get regular stitches with 3 double, 2 chains and 3 double. And I will meet you back here to finish off the row. And to finish off, again, we're going to do 3 double crochets into that first space right here. And 2 chains, 1, 2. We're going to attach it on our third chain here. So that's 1, 2, 3. Insert and slip stitch, chain 1, cut it off, pull it through. If you want to make this bigger, of course you can keep going using the same pattern that we've been doing. So you need to make 2 of these to make a hoodie, and when you turn on the other side, you want to hide your yarn. So you want to get your yarn needle and pull it through and just hide your yarn throughout the same color. So I'll just go back and forth in these stitches right here, pull it through like so. Once you feel like it's secure enough, you can just grab your scissors and cut it off. And you will do the same with all of these loose ends, cut them all off, and we can begin to start the scarf portion. Now to begin the scarf, we're going to start with a slip knot. So we're going to make a loop here and hold on to it, go into the loop, grab the long yarn and pull, insert your hook, tighten it, and now we're going to start chaining the length of your scarf. So you want to chain in groups of 3 until you reach the length that you're happy with, and at the end we're going to chain extra 2 to finish off. So just start chaining the length of your scarf. And make sure your tension here isn't too strong because we are going to be working in the back loops here. So just loosely make chains. So I made 180 chains, as you can see, and now I'm going to add extra 2 for turning. So 1, 2. So now in total I have 182. So once you're at the length that you like and you add the extra 2 chains, we can start the first row. So we're going to be working in the back loops right here. So as you can see, these are regular stitches, regular chains right here, right in here. But we're going to be working in the back loops. If you're looking at your work this way, turn it to the back and you will see these bumps right here, like so. So now we're going to make double crochets, and again we yarn over to make a double crochet, and we're going to work in the 5th chain. So we can count back from the hook. This is the first one right here, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And we're gonna turn our work, and this is our 5th bump right here. So yarn over and go into that 5th chain, like so. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's your first double crochet. And now we're just going to continue the same thing all the way down, but making double crochets in each chain right here. So again, yarn over, we're gonna find our next bump right here, insert our hook, like so, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, like so. And you're just gonna continue this all the way down until you reach the very end, and I will show you how to start the next row and change the color. So now I'm finally reaching the end. So you want to do your last few double crochets. And on the very last double crochet, we're going to change the color. So continue as normal. Yarn over, pull through. And now instead of yarning over and pulling through this color, we're actually going to grab our next color like so and just attach it and finish off the double crochet with your new color like so. And we can just cut off old color. So from here we're going to flip our work this way, and we're going to start with a single crochet into that very first space right here. So insert your hook into that first space. If you pull it apart, you'll see it right here. So insert, pull up a loop, and complete a single crochet. like so. From here, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to skip 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go into that space. So 1, 2, 3, and into that big space right here, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and single crochet. And we just continue the same thing. So you do chain 2, 1, 2, skip 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and go into that space. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through. So you just repeat the same pattern. Chain 2, skip 1, 2, 3, single crochet into that space. So you will do this all the way down until you reach the very end, and we will start the next row together. So once we reach the end of this row, you will have 3 double crochets left. So you will just do the same thing. So chain 2. After 3 double crochets, we're going to make 1 single crochet into this space, like so. And to start the next row, we're going to change the color at this stitch. So at the very top chain right here, we're just going to insert our hook, like so. You want to grab the yarn, and with your next color, you're just going to complete the single crochet, like so. So at this point, we can cut off our last color, which is the light blue. And now we can continue with our dark blue color. So from here, I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And again, we're going to turn our work this way. And now we're going to start double crochets into these spaces right here. So we're going to yarn over and make 3 double crochets in each of the spaces. So insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. 2 more into that space. And the last one. So now it should start to look something like this. And we're just going to continue making 3 double crochets in each of these spaces. So now I'm working at the last space right here. And once you reach this end where there's no more spaces to fill, I'm just going to make 1 double crochet into this first space right here, the first double crochet that we did here. So yarn over and insert into that space, pull up a loop, and double crochet. And before you finish off, we're going to grab our next color, which again is the blue, and complete double crochet. Now again, we can cut off our old color. So the next row is row 4, which is a repeat of row 2 right here. So we do the exact same thing that we did here. So we're just flip our work without chaining, and into this first space, we're going to make 1 single crochet. So insert your hook into that space, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through. So that's your first single crochet. And now we're just going to chain 2 and skip the 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and go into that space and make 1 single crochet. Again, chain 2, go into the next space, single crochet, and so on. So again, I will show you how to start the next row. So I'm going to place my last single crochet into the last space right here. And to start the next row, I'm just going to insert my hook into that very top stitch in here, like so. And I'm going to make a single crochet. And before I finish off, grab our next color and pull it through. We can cut off the old color. And now we can continue our row 5, which is a repeat of row 3 right here. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to turn our work. And from here, we're just going to start doing our 3 double crochets into each of these spaces in here. So yarn over, go into the next space, that's 3, and we move on to the next space in here. So that's how you do your row 5. So again, from here, you're just repeating the same pattern. That's a row 3 and 4 going forward. So as wide as you want your scarf to be, you just keep doing the same pattern. And I will meet you at the end to finish off the scarf and attach all the pieces together. So now I'm reaching the end of my scarf and I've made about 11 rows. So before I finish off the last 3 double crochets, I'm actually going to start to weave in these ends. So just grab your yarn needle and start from any of the loose ends. So for example, right here, just put your yarn on your yarn needle. And you just want to start to hide the yarn in the back. So just go through any of these stitches. And just go through. Like so, and I'll just go back up the same way, just skipping the first stitch that we came out of so we don't unravel the yarn. So we'll just go back up. And once I feel like I've secured the yarn enough, I'm just going to cut it off, like so. So you just want to do the same with all of these pieces. Just grab the yarn and hide it with the same color. Once you're finished, it should look something like this. And to finish off, I'm going to do last 3 double crochets in here. And the last double crochet into here as well. And from here, honestly, you can start to do even single crochets across. You can go all around to make a little brim, but I think for now I'm just going to stop here. And to finish off, you will just chain 1, cut off the yarn and pull it through. Now you can also just weave this in the back and you're finished your scarf. And now we can start to assemble the hood with the scarf. And for me, the scarf came to around 11 centimeters and the length is 112 centimeters. And with the hood, I ended up doing 13 rows. That came to 27 centimeters for me. Now to complete the hood, we need 2 of these granny squares. So 1 and 2, and you want to align them the right side. So this will be the outside of your hood, and this is the inside. So make sure you're lining them up correctly. So both of these are the outside, and this is your inside of the hood. And we're going to sew it together. So starting from this corner, we're gonna go to the round side and end up at the top right here. So grab your yarn needle and your yarn. So this is our rounded corner, and I'm going to start from this corner right here. And I'm going to grab from these corner stitch and the other one the corner stitch right here and just pull through. And from here, I'm just gonna go through each stitch. So the next one would be right here, this stitch, and the corresponding stitch on the other side, and just pull. You can use any type of stitch here to close this up. You can even do slip stitches or single crochets, but I find that this is the easiest way. So now I'm gonna go from this side, the next stitch, which is right here, and go through this granny square, the corresponding stitch, and just pull through. We came out from here, I'm gonna go into the next one right here, come out to the other side and just pull. Now on this side, we came out from this stitch. We came out from this stitch, which means I'm gonna go into the next stitch, grab the next stitch of this granny square, like so, and just go through. And you will just do this all the way until this corner. So we're closing from here to here and leave this side open. And I will meet you back here to finish it off. Now I've reached the end from here all the way here. And I'm just going to do the last few of these stitches here. And now I'm just gonna go through this stitch right here and in here as well. Go through it. And I will go through the next one right here, the next one right here, and pull through. And now I will just go back and forth a few times just to secure it. And from here I'm just going to hide the yarn on the inside of the hood here. So I will go to the back side and I will start to weave in this yarn through these stitches right here just to hide it. And just pull, and then I will go back up and pull. Once you feel like you've secured the yarn enough, you can just cut it off. And in the beginning right here, we're going to do the same thing. So take this end yarn and just weave it in through the back to secure it, and we can move on to the scarf. Now for the last step, you want to attach the scarf to our hood. You want to fold your scarf in half like this and align it with the hood, and I'm going to use these stitch markers to mark where I'm going to be sewing so it's easier. So for example, in this corner right here, I'm going to grab onto the corner of my hood and the corner of my scarf and mark that. I'm going to mark this middle area. So I'm going to grab the hood and the scarf and attach it to each other. Grab another stitch marker and I'm going to attach these corners. So at least we have a rough idea of where it's going to go. And now we can open the scarf with the hood, like so. And now you just want to make sure that your hood is in the middle of your scarf. So just count back your stitches and make sure it's in the middle, and attach more stitch markers if needed to this side of the hood. You can count back these stitches right here on each side to make sure that they're even. And once you're ready to sew, you can grab your yarn and your needle, and we're going to do the same stitch to complete it here. So you can take out your first stitch marker and you want to grab your first corner right here and the first stitch here, and just go through. And we're going to do the same stitch as before. You can hold these two pieces together like so, and you're gonna go from the next stitch. So we came out from here, so we're gonna go into this one, insert, go into the next stitch of this granny square and go through. It's the same exact way that we did the hood. I know it's hard to see with a dark yarn, but we're doing the same exact thing as before. So if we came out from this stitch, we're going to go into the next, go into the next of the scarf and just pull. So you're just going to do this same thing all the way across. When you come here, you can flip the hood over and complete the other side, and I will meet you back here to finish it off. So now I'm reaching the end of this. I've sewed this side, flipped it over, kept going, and then now we're just going to finish off this corner. And now again, I can bring the yarn onto the back side, so inside of the scarf, and we're going to hide the yarn again. So just weave in back and forth through here and hide the yarn, and we're going to do the same on this side where we started from. So you can just secure the end in here and hide the yarn and cut it off, and we're finished. And once you have all your ends weaved in, this is what it would look like, and you have your finished hooded scarf.